everyone. Good morning. Glad to be here again today. My name is Elena, and I curated the art gallery here at ETHDenver this year. This is my first year at ETHDenver, and I'm super excited to be here today with my wonderful guests who helped me actually to bring the life to the gallery today. So Nadia is a wonderful curator who brought some really interesting videos to the event, and Rob is the founder of Illust, which is a really cool augmented reality company. So maybe you guys start with introducing yourselves really quickly, and then we can go into some questions.
Hi everyone. Does it work? Yeah. So I'm Nadia Taiga. I'm curator and cultural entrepreneur, as I define myself. Since the last 18 years, I have been working with artists, introducing them different mediums, starting from glass to blockchain, and now augmented reality, AI. So my main focus always was how medium change the cultural paradigm and behavior of our reality. And artists are the best pusher or the best innovators to actually prove the cultural paradigm or prove the tool and new tools. So I have been working with big public projects and exhibitions across different institutions, including the Hermitage Museum and Venice Biennial Context. So I'm very excited to be here because since 2018, we have developed and introduced blockchain as a new medium to the artists with the company snark.art that time and og.art, and we were experimenting, introducing blockchain to them to see how artists that never worked with technology can redefine and reshape actually the technical aspect to bring it to conceptual. And we have built few collections that you can see at the gallery that Elena kindly invited me co-curate. And we developed dynamic NFTs. That time I don't like word NFT because we have started much before NFT exists, and it's a blockchain art. And it's just more about the co-creation. And I think that's what's amazing, that new technologies help us co-create with artists. So I'm very excited to be a part of it.
Thank you, Nadia.
Okay, there we go. What's going on, everyone? My name is Rob McCarty. I'm one of the co-founders of Illust. We're a no-code augmented reality creation platform where you can place digital stories anywhere in the world. You can kind of think of us like a Pokemon Go for culture, where really the world is a canvas. So we work with artists, creators, musicians, storytellers to essentially co-create these augmented reality experiences in the world. And the component that is really important to us is this idea of archiving culture. And that's why we are integrating blockchain technologies into our stack so that we could be able to create a record of experiences in the world for future generations to see.
Super cool. So for this talk, I really wanted to focus on different mediums, and that's why I wanted to go from 2D to 3D. So my question to both of you is actually how an artist goes from 2D to 3D. Which tools can they use? Whom should they ask if they're super interested? I myself worked with a few traditional artists, and I know how tough it could be of a journey to go from one medium to another. So maybe if you could both share your thoughts on that, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the quick answer is there's so many tools out there now for content creation that it really comes down to just figuring out where you want to focus on. A lot of people will say Blender is great for 3D. Even before Blender, like we do an education course on creating your first AR experiences, you can create just from a text prompt in an AI platform just a model that you want to see visualized in the world without having any experience with the 3D software. I think it's a good first step just to see that this is a usable tech and you can immediately see it in the room with you. And then you can go down the steps of learning Blender and becoming a more, being able to produce more higher fidelity types of scenes and meshes. But I would definitely say like try out some of the some of these tools are free and just test things out.
Nice.
So I really think that it's not about two-dimensional or three-dimensional. It's not about dimension. It's about relation. When we say two-dimensional, three-dimensional, or augmented space or immersive space, we don't really change anything. So we speak about what relationship we can build with a medium. And it doesn't matter what dimensions are there, but what relations and what new kind of structure we create using the new tool or using the new medium. So through my experience working with contemporary artists, let's say starting with glass, that never worked with glass before, and I experienced since 2010 that high resistance from the artists, from conceptual artists to try the new medium, because it's dangerous for famous artists. It's a friction. They challenge, they struggle. They don't understand the medium. So there should be people like you, like me, who translate that medium and introduce it in a safe way, secure way, and see the potential, because the most powerful thing in artists is conceptual way, not like the aesthetics. Aesthetics just only can be multiplied tomorrow in many things. We saw it in a NFT mania time when bunch of beautiful pictures were created, but they didn't really survive the hype. So with artists come from two-dimensional to three-dimensional or augmented or immersive or AI field, always need to see the possibilities and the limits of the medium. So every medium has it. So an artist sometimes looking at the medium, like with blockchain, we introduced it to the artists, and we had the same resistance like with glass. I had many years ago, because it was very dangerous. It was controversial at that time, 2018, 2019. And people were like, oh, crypto, why we should do this? Like what? I can really compromise my concept, my glory or something. It's dangerous. So to navigate the artist through, you kind of create the real translation from the conceptual approach to the possibilities of the medium and push the limits. So when the artist pushes the limits of the medium, then something new, innovative things happen. And I believe that artists are the best people, and innovators as well, the best people that can really create a new relationship with a medium. Then it becomes so accessible for us, right? With some now we use blockchain in many ways. Sometimes people even don't know that they are part of AI or blockchain behind. So it's become very conventional. So for me, it's mostly that artists needs to, or people needs to push the limits of the medium. Tool itself doesn't really bring the change, but the relationship with that tool and what we create with that tool.
That's great. No, thank you. Thank you, Nadia. I couldn't agree more. So speaking about tools, I actually wanted to speak a little bit about augmented reality tools. I am myself a big fan of augmented reality. I think it can extend the experience of an art piece dramatically, and it's relatively easy to use. So I do want to see more augmented reality art around me. So maybe you can share a little bit, Rob, how you came up with the idea of Illust, and how can artists use it, and I don't know, anything else?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, many moons ago, was working as a consultant with Meta to help them launch their Spark AR platform. Those are like AR creator tools, and it was one of the most fun experiences ever because it combines all the things that I love: digital art, technology, and locations and different scenes. And so, but the issue with that platform, and I was trolling through the terms of service one day, and it said that, and at least for Metaspark, as a creator, you're assigning away your IP rights in a galaxy-wide exclusive perpetuity license to Meta, which is about as strongly worded as you can get for an IP clause in a terms of service. So that was kind of the awakening of, well, you can't sell the artwork originally, even though these are amazing works of art. The only way you could make money as a creator was to do commission works through, a brand or a record label that was looking to do promotion through Instagram. So that was kind of the impetus where my business partner came from the Snap ecosystem, similar story, and we started to basically build out back in 2020 one of our first basically ERC 721 contract for minting our AR assets, and we got to partner up with the hip hop artist MF Doom before he passed away, and did like an AR NFT drop of his mask, which was a limited run, and that was basically what kind of kicked off our whole story in the space.
Very nice. Nadia, maybe you can share, I don't know, we spoke a little bit about a story of an artist, of a traditional artist going into digital space. I don't know if you want to briefly mention that story, or any advice to the artists, art collectors, art enthusiasts that are here today. I think would be super cool to hear from you.
I don't know how many artists are here, or developers, or collectors. So, because to me, artists and collectors are two sides of the same coin. So that because artists deal with eternity and collectors chose the safer path in the beginning, and then when they gain their wealth, they kind of realize that money don't buy eternity, but art does. So, and they start to collect art. So that's my kind of approach. So with working with contemporary artists, I had many interesting stories how you can break the ice and make artists excited about the medium. Every artist wants to experiment, every artist. But the challenge is when you are young and you don't have anything to lose, you are experimenting with anything. But when you reach a certain point, when you are already developed your career and you depend on the gallery sale, important gallery sale, museum shows, so you become more cautious. And that's very big challenge. And I've seen many artists on their highest point of career when they had this fear in their eyes to approach the new medium. It's scary. You can lose everything. And with our experience, in 2018, we were walking around New York, and I was connecting and putting dots together with many artists, and I can bring to experiment. And many of them were skeptical. Many of them turned me down, and it's fine. Usually you visit the studio of the artist, just friendly visit, and you walk around, and this is what we did with our artist Michael Jew. He was already in a stage of his career when he achieved many things, but it was not already expanding. It stopped growing. And so in a way, I think he was curious and ready to try something new. And we were walking around his studio, and we saw crystals on the table that he digged himself from the activity in New York. They let people like tourist activity, you can dig some crystals. And he mentioned to us that every crystal is unique. There is no another identical crystal. It's like a fingerprints. So we were like, oh, interesting, because it was exactly what blockchain actually allows to do when you could really have something different. There is no multiples, but something new. So when we started to think through, and we came up with an idea why the collectors would not become a catalyst. Sorry. Catalyzer for the artwork. Let's say the time when they push the button, or something that some data that they will include there will emphasize the final look of the artwork. So they will become a true co-creators of the artwork. So we were so excited about that idea, but the problem was we didn't have any money to develop that project. We were just in the beginning of 2019 already, and in front of big pandemic coming. And so we kind of didn't succeed in finding people who will do it, volunteer for free, like mathematicians, so some coders behind. So we pushed it back. And during pandemic, we thought, okay, let's take a risk. We put two people together. So Michael Jew as an artist who was ready to experiment and has a very strong conceptual point behind the crystals. Why crystals, how they grow, what qualities they have, what properties they have. And Danil Krivoruchko, who was and he is one of the best 3D artists. So we put them together, introduced them, and let them build some understanding, not interfere. So this is how the project has started. And then, of course, during that, we started to really develop the idea that most important that it's become the collaborative piece in the end. So when people bought a seed of a crystal initially, they didn't know what they buy, but crystal seed goes into the crypto wallet and reads its data, and the first shape is created. Then in order to make it grow, you had to sell it to another crypto wallet. And another crypto wallet data emphasizes the look of the second part. So in the end, it became a collaborative piece. So that was kind of breaking through, but what I want just to mention that Michael Jew, for his bravery, now is rewarded very well, because other artists started to ask him after that success. We sold those 10,000 crystals for 4.5 million in 4 hours.
Amazing.
Yes, that time.
Hard to
it was
imagine
just
right now.
Wow, and of course, everyone, money proved the concept. Many artists started to send us inquiries to work with them. But we couldn't take many because it's very short, long development. So Michael Jew now, because of this introductory to the new medium, he has started to develop other derivative artworks based on that concept. He's in a major museum shows around the States, and I can't announce you what is going to happen this year. I will do it in interview because 2 days more I can't announce it. So that's bravery paid back.
Super cool. No, I mean, it's such a great story. I really wanted you to share it because it's a very inspiring story. As we are coming to a close of this panel, Rob, do you want to add anything?
Sure. Yeah, I think looking at AR as, I mean, it's in the framing of it. It's augmenting reality, and so you can have standalone AR experiences, and we do have those in the gallery. But I think I want to challenge anyone to think about how can we take something that exists in the real world and then add another layer of storytelling to it. So anything could be augmented. So whether that be a wall that you see, a mural, a logo, if you want to add an audio clip along a walk, you can start to kind of create these seeds for this future metaverse that's going to exist outside. And I mean, it sounds maybe a little too futuristic, be like, oh, there's a metaverse outside, but just looking at the numbers of the amount of Ray-Bans that are going into production now, the Meta Ray-Bans, we're looking at 10 million up from 2 million last year, because the people right now are becoming completely open to this idea of having a wearable-based device that is contextual and can be able to provide this. So Samsung and Google are now partnered up on their XR glasses that they're working on, and then we also have Snap that's coming out with theirs later this year. So I think right now the form factor is a mobile device, but it will eventually be something where we're untethered from something that we have to hold, and it's going to become natural. It's part of our everyday experience. So I think it's great just to kind of take a step, jump in a little bit, but it's something that's coming, and it's something to think about.
Yeah, can't wait. Everything can be augmented. Let's end on that. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will have another talk at 2 p.m. at the Art Gallery if you want to hear more stories from this.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, everyone.
Elena.
And thank you, Rob.
Yeah, thank you,
such
Nadia.
a cool project you developed. Good luck.
Appreciate y'all.